Reflections on Your Thought Patterns. Written by Justice O. Malcolm. Published by Audiobooks Office. The Introduction. Did you know 60,000 thoughts cross your mind each day? That's a lot of thinking. You're about to delve into the fascinating world of thought patterns. We'll explore the science behind them, their link to your personality, and how they're influenced by genetics and environment. You'll learn how they change as you age, and their relationship with creativity and nutrition. For more information about the ebook version of this audio, visit audiobooksoffice.com. We noticed that 85% of you who listen to our video are not yet subscribed to the channel. Please help support the channel by hitting the subscribe button and like the video. Thanks for inspiring us to create more content for you. So, buckle up, it's time to understand your thought process like never before. Part 1. Understanding Thought Patterns. Understanding your thought patterns isn't just about recognizing what you're thinking, but also why you're thinking it. It's a twofold process, first identifying the thought, then deciphering its roots. This is crucial for personal growth and emotional well-being. You may have noticed recurring thoughts, but do you understand their origin? Your experiences, beliefs, or even societal norms might influence these. It's important to dig deeper and uncover the source. Let's consider an example. You are constantly thinking you're not good enough. According to research, such poor self-perceptions are frequently the result of failure or criticism in the past. You're not inherently inadequate, you've just internalized this belief over time. Once you have discovered the underlying cause, you may concentrate on modifying your thought patterns. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, a scientifically validated practice, can assist you in replacing negative beliefs with positive ones. By challenging your self-defeating beliefs, you can shift your focus from "I can't do it" to "I'll try my best." Remember, understanding your thought patterns isn't a one-shot deal. It's an ongoing process that requires patience and self-awareness. With consistent effort, you can gradually change your thought patterns and improve your mental health. Think of your mind as a garden. If you don't understand what seeds you're planting, you can't control what grows. Understanding your thought patterns gives you the power to nurture positive thoughts and weed out the negative ones. It's the first step towards creating a healthier, happier mind. Part 2. The science behind thought processes. Delving into the science behind your thought processes, you'll uncover the fascinating interplay of neurons, chemicals, and connections that shape your thinking. Your brain, a complex network of over 100 billion neurons, functions as the command center of your thought processes. These neurons communicate via electrical signals, producing a flurry of activity that gives rise to your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Neurotransmitters, which are molecules that transfer signals across a synapse, are essential in the process. They're responsible for the speedy delivery of signals, ensuring your brain's electrical activity translates into thoughts and actions. Serotonin, for example, influences mood, while dopamine affects motivation and reward systems. Your brain's neuroplasticity, its ability to change and adapt, is another key player. It's through this plasticity that your thoughts can literally reshape your brain. The more you practice a thought or behavior, the stronger the neural connections become in that area, a process referred to as synaptic strengthening. The intricate dance of neurons and chemicals isn't random, it's influenced by your genes, environment, and experiences. Chronic stress, for example, can harm your neurons, impairing your capacity to think effectively and make judgments. Understanding the science behind your thoughts can give you a sense of control. You're not just a passive recipient of your thoughts. With knowledge and practice, you can influence your thought patterns, and by extension, your actions and experiences. Now, let us have a look at how these thought patterns influence your personality development. Part 3. Thought patterns and personality development. Interestingly, your thought patterns don't just shape your actions, but they also significantly influence your personality development over time. It's clear that the way you think and perceive the world around you can gradually mold your character and behavior. This process isn't just anecdotal, there's ample scientific evidence to back this claim. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology discovered a strong link between individuals' thought patterns and personality traits, such as neuroticism, a personality trait characterized by feelings of anxiety, fear, moodiness, worry, envy, and loneliness. On the other hand, those who frequently think positively usually develop an optimistic and outgoing personality. The way you respond to different situations also plays a crucial role. If you're in the habit of thinking critically and making rational decisions, you're likely to develop a conscientious personality. This trait is associated with being organized, responsible, and hardworking. Conversely, if you frequently act impulsively without much thought, you might end up developing a less stable personality. Part 4. The role of genetics in thought patterns. Your brain's genetic makeup, along with your experiences, influences how you think and process information. Genes, the basic units of heredity, have a huge impact on your thought processes. They're the blueprint for your brain's structure and function, dictating how neurons, or brain cells, connect and communicate. Research in the field of behavioral genetics provides compelling evidence for this. Studies involving identical twins, who share the same DNA, have found that they often exhibit similar thinking patterns, even when raised in different environments. This implies a strong genetic influence on how we think. Yet, it's important to remember that genetics isn't the whole story. It doesn't predetermine your thoughts or destiny. Instead, your genes provide a kind of framework. They set certain parameters, but they're not the sole architects of your thought patterns. For instance, while genes may predispose you to think creatively, this trait is likely to manifest only if it's nurtured in the right environment. Likewise, a genetic predisposition to logical thinking doesn't guarantee you'll become a mathematician. It's the interplay between your genes and your experiences that ultimately shapes your thinking. To encapsulate, your genes play a crucial role in determining how you think, but it's a nuanced relationship. They provide the foundation, but they don't dictate the final outcome. Understanding this interplay between genetics and thought patterns is key to comprehending the complexity of the human mind. Now, let's delve deeper into how your environment can shape these genetically influenced thought patterns. Part 5. How environment influences thought patterns. Where do you think you'd be in terms of your thought patterns if you'd been raised in a vastly different environment? Your surroundings, both past and present, have a significant part to play in shaping your cognitive landscape. Research shows the environment you're raised in can greatly impact your mental processing. For instance, if you've been raised in a conflict-ridden area, you're likely to develop thought patterns that are more cautious and defensive compared to someone raised in a peaceful environment. Similarly, your social environment molds your thinking. If you've grown up in a close-knit community, you're more likely to develop empathetic and cooperative thought patterns. Your present environment also influences your thinking. A chaotic, cluttered space can lead to scattered, disorganized thoughts. Conversely, a calm, well-ordered environment can foster clear, focused thinking. The people around you, too, shape your thoughts. Positive, inspiring individuals can encourage optimistic, ambitious thinking, while negative influences can lead to pessimistic thought patterns. However, it's important to note that environmental influence over thought patterns isn't absolute. Just as you're shaped by your surroundings, you also have the power to shape them. You have the option of surrounding yourself with positive influences, challenging your thought patterns, and pursuing cognitive growth. With this understanding, it's clear that your environment plays a significant role in shaping your thought patterns. But how malleable are these patterns? Can they change over time? This leads us into our next discussion on neuroplasticity and thought evolution. Part 6. Neuroplasticity and thought evolution. You're constantly experiencing the marvel of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to remodel itself, which plays a pivotal role in the evolution of your thought patterns. Every time you learn something new, your brain changes. It's forming new neural connections and strengthening existing ones. It's not a static entity, but a dynamic, ever-changing landscape. Research supports this. Studies show that the brain's structure isn't fixed. Even in adulthood, it can change in response to learning, experience, and injury. It's a phenomenon known as neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons. You're not stuck with the brain you have. You can change it, and by extension, change how you think. Consider this: when you repeat a thought or action, you're reinforcing a neural pathway. Let's say you're learning to play a musical instrument. At first, it's challenging. You're creating new pathways, new ways for your brain to process information. But with practice, it becomes easier. That's because the neural pathways associated with that task have strengthened. That's the power of neuroplasticity. It's the biological basis for your ability to change, adapt, and evolve. It's why you can learn new skills, adopt new habits, and change your thought patterns. It's a testament to the brain's incredible adaptability. Part 7. The power of positive thinking. Positive thinking not only impacts your vision of the world around you, but it may also have a substantial impact on your general well-being and success. It's not just an abstract concept, but a practice rooted in empirical evidence. Numerous studies back up the power of positive thinking. A study that was published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, for example, discovered that people who kept an optimistic view had a 77% decreased risk of heart disease. This goes to show that your mindset can influence your physical health. On the other hand, positive thinking also plays a crucial role in your mental health. According to a research report published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology, cognitive behavioral therapies, which involve reframing negative beliefs into positive ones, dramatically reduced symptoms of sadness and anxiety. This underlines the direct impact of your thought patterns on your mental state. Moreover, positive thinking can boost your resilience and ability to cope with stress. Research in the Journal of Personality shows that optimists are better equipped to deal with adversity and bounce back from challenges. In addition, positive thinking enhances your problem-solving abilities. A study in the American Journal of Psychology found that positive moods could foster innovative thinking and creative problem-solving. So, it's not just about feeling good. Positive thinking can directly affect your health, resilience, and creativity. It's a powerful tool, but like any tool, it requires practice to reap its full benefits. You're in control, and by deciding to adopt a more positive mindset, you're taking a step towards enhancing your overall well-being and success. Part 8. Negative thought patterns, an in-depth analysis. In contrast to the uplifting effects of positive thinking, let's delve into how negative thought patterns can hinder your overall well-being and success. It's important to understand that negative thoughts aren't just momentary lapses of judgment, they're deeply ingrained patterns that can significantly affect your mood, behavior, and decision-making processes. Research has shown that those who habitually think negatively are more likely to suffer from depression, anxiety, and stress-related disorders. This is because negative thinking activates the body's stress response, leading to a surge in stress hormones that can be harmful over time. This may give rise to physical health problems like heart disease, a reduced immune system, and a shorter lifespan. Furthermore, negative thoughts can lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is a loop in which your negative expectations compel you to behave in ways that confirm these expectations. For instance, if you constantly think you're going to fail, you're more likely to make mistakes, reinforcing your belief in your failure. This vicious cycle can be incredibly hard to break, leading to lower self-esteem, reduced motivation, and decreased overall happiness. Understanding and addressing your negative thought patterns is crucial to breaking this cycle, and improving your mental and physical health. By recognizing these patterns, you may begin to confront and modify them, resulting in improved overall well-being. As previously demonstrated, your thought patterns, whether positive or negative, have a tremendous impact on your life. In the following section, we'll explore how thought patterns shape our decisions, revealing even more about their powerful influence. Part 9. How thought patterns shape our decisions? Undeniably, your thought patterns play a pivotal role in shaping the decisions you make every day. They act as the lens through which you view and interpret the world around you. Your thoughts aren't just passive observations, they're active participants in your decision-making process. To understand this, consider the implicit association test, IT. Studies show that our decisions can be influenced by our unconscious biases, which are shaped by our thought patterns. For instance, if you've consistently been exposed to the idea that cats are aloof, you're likely to opt for a dog when deciding on a pet, even if you aren't consciously aware of this bias. Moreover, your thought patterns can lead to cognitive biases, which are systematic errors in thinking. These biases can skew your decision-making process and lead to less than optimal outcomes. For example, confirmation bias is a tendency to favor information that supports your pre-existing opinions, which might impair your capacity to make objective decisions. Your thought patterns also dictate your decision-making strategy. Some people are impulsive decision-makers, acting on their immediate thoughts and feelings. Others are reflective decision-makers, who take time to consider various options and outcomes. It's important to note that while your thought patterns significantly influence your decisions, they aren't set in stone. They can be altered through practices like cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, and meditation. As we go more into this subject, we will look at the impact of thinking patterns on emotional well-being, which is an important factor in our decision-making process. Part 10. The impact of thought patterns on emotional well-being. On top of influencing your decisions, your thought patterns also have a profound impact on your emotional well-being, creating a ripple effect that's felt across all aspects of your life. According to research, your thought patterns can have a large impact on your mood, stress levels, and general mental health. You have probably noticed that negative thoughts can pull you down, leading to feelings of sadness, anxiety, or depression, while positive thoughts can lift your spirits and fuel optimism. So, how does this work? It all comes down to neuroplasticity in the brain, or the ability of the brain to establish and restructure synaptic connections in response to learning or experience. When you dwell on negative thoughts, you're reinforcing those neural pathways, making it easier for your brain to fall into that pattern in the future. The opposite is also true. Focusing on positive thoughts strengthens those connections, promoting a more positive mindset. But it's not just about positivity. It's also about realism. Overly positive thinking can lead to unrealistic expectations and eventual disappointment. The key is to cultivate a balanced thought pattern, one that allows you to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats. Mindfulness is one effective strategy to manage your thought patterns. You can detect negative patterns and begin to shift them by becoming more conscious of your thoughts. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is another effective way for challenging and changing harmful thinking patterns and behaviors. Part 11. The connection between thought patterns and behavior. How often have you noticed that your behavior directly mirrors your thought patterns? It's no coincidence. Cognitive psychology suggests a compelling link between the two. Your thoughts, whether positive or negative, are often the foundation for your behavior. Take, for instance, your response when facing a challenging work task. If you perceive the task as impossible, you're likely to procrastinate or avoid it altogether. Your thoughts of inability translate into behavior of avoidance. Conversely, if you view it as an opportunity to learn, you're likely to tackle it with enthusiasm. Here, your positive thoughts lead to proactive behavior. Evidence supporting this connection isn't just anecdotal. Individuals who regularly engaged in negative thinking were more inclined to engage in harmful behaviors such as smoking and heavy drinking, while those with more optimistic thought patterns were more likely to engage in beneficial behaviors such as regular exercise, according to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. Recognizing this connection is crucial. It can help you understand why you behave in certain ways and guide you towards structured thought patterns that promote healthier behaviors. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, for example, is a well-documented approach that helps individuals to identify, challenge, and change maladaptive thought patterns to influence behavior positively. Part 12. Strategies to change unwanted thought patterns. You've got 5 proven strategies to transform your negative thought patterns, and they're easier to implement than you might think. 1. The first is mindfulness. It's a practice rooted in ancient Eastern philosophies, but it's also backed by modern science. Research shows that mindfulness helps to reduce negative thought patterns by increasing your ability to recognize and disengage from them. 2. Cognitive restructuring is another potent tool. It's a cognitive behavioral therapy technique that involves identifying and disputing irrational or maladaptive thoughts. According to research, it can help to change negative thought patterns and improve psychological well-being. 3. The third strategy is self-compassion. Compassion for oneself is linked to lower levels of self-criticism, a common source of negative thoughts. By treating yourself with kindness when you make mistakes or fail, you're likely to experience fewer negative thoughts. 4. Visualization is your fourth weapon. This entails